Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of trading. And in this week's video, we are going to be talking about how to set pending orders. Now, I have a list right up here as you guys can see about what we're going to be talking about because I want you guys to follow along with me as we go through this video. Now, what I also want you guys to keep in mind is I am a swing trader. So anything that I talk about is always going to be talked about on higher time frames. Okay. Now, does this mean that you can apply this to lower time frames? Yes, you absolutely can. But I love talking to my swing traders because I am a swing trader. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get into the video. What are pending orders? So, pending orders are basically, as it says, something that is pending means that it's not yet posted or it has yet to be done. Okay. So think about it this when you're setting a pending order, what you're saying is that you're not ready to enter a trade, but you see where you want to enter the trade. So you're going to set an alert or you're going to tell the system, hey, if price reaches this exchange rate, I want you to trigger me into the trade automatically without me being there. That's all a pending order is. Okay, so you know what your take profit will be, you know what your stop loss will be, and then you also know where you want to enter the trade. Okay, it hasn't yet happened, but when it does, you're triggered. Simply put. Now, there is a such thing as market executions or market orders versus versus the pending orders. Okay, so think about a market order as this. Let's just say that you want to enter a trade at a certain exchange rate. When price gets there, you're going to wait for the candle to close. You are manually entering the trade, meaning you're going to enter the stop loss for yourself, the take profit for yourself, and you yourself are going to hit the buy and sell button. So that's a market order. So replace market with manual because you're manually doing all the work. Okay, so prayerfully about what I just said, you guys can see the examples between market order and pending order. Okay. Now, when to enter a trade using market orders. Okay. Now, have a typo there, but it's okay. Okay. So, if you have time to sit, let's just say for 5 minutes, I honestly believe trading takes less than 15 minutes a day. Like if you have a trade, I honestly believe that. It doesn't mean that you're trading as a day trader or a scalper or you're coming to the charts every day. It just means the total time, like if I analyze my charts, like just one currency pair, and then I see I have a trade and I have to journal it and I have to enter the trade or set a pending order, all of that per pair should take less than 15 minutes. That's my philosophy. Okay. Now, I think you should set a market order or a manual order if you have time to sit in front of your chart and do so when the trade is ready. So here's a prime example. This is pound USD. This trade happened years ago, actually 3 years, going on 3 years ago. It's a really beautiful trade. Going with the trend, you guys can see price made a lower low, lower high combination. And if I wanted to enter the trade at my estimation zone, mind you, estimation zones are my personal name for my zones that I've created under my brand. Okay. And I'm estimating this is where I want price to go to. And this is a hammer on the daily time frame, which means the previous day was the 18th. Today is the 19th. And now I'm going to enter the trade. This analysis probably only took me less than 1 minute to do. Okay. Especially when you have a system, like you should flow with your system. Okay. And so I see this candle closure. I can manually enter this trade. So I can set my position tool, my short position tool because I want to sell. I can set my stop loss. I can set my take profit. You guys can see in this example, it's a 1.51 risk to reward, risking 77 pips to gain 117 pips. And I'm just going to let the trade flow. Okay. So I'm setting the take profit. I'm setting the stop loss. I am manually hitting the sell button to place this order in my order panel, which can look, well, let me set it up here, but it can look something like this, okay, on a $10,000 account where I have to set all of this information up, okay? That is a market order. But let's just say that I do a manual execution. So manual execution means this. Let's just say that price has yet to get to my zone. I already have the information set up, which more than likely, if I'm using a pending order, it is set up here. So I see my take profit. I can see my take profit if I believe price will come back up to my zone and then come back down. So I know where I want to enter the trade, which is my zone. I know where my stop loss will be. It'll be back to my high. So what I can do, and y'all are gonna hear the ambulance and fire truck, and I pray whoever that's for, it gets to them safely. Okay. So what I can do is I can say, hey, I'm going to set a manual order. So I can hit the sell button, or there's a plus sign for where I want to enter the trade, which to me is faster. I don't have to type in the exchange rate. So I want to enter at the bottom of my zone at 1.25211. If you guys can see on my price chart. Now, the best time to set a pending order, in my personal opinion, is if you don't have time to commit to the trade. The daily time frame for my time zone closes at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are times I'm out with my kids. There are times I may be grocery shopping. There are times we may be at the park around that time. There are times I may be getting ready for dinner. I may even be taking a late nap, right? So what I can do is, if I believe price is going to pull back or retrace, because pullback is for pending orders, or P is for pending orders, P is for pullbacks. So if I believe that price can pull back to my zone at this exchange rate, I'm going to set the order, because if you don't have time to trade, or maybe you find yourself missing trades because you're afraid to push the button, but you know this is your setup, like this is how you can trade, then set the pending order and take the frustration, take the stress, take the anxiety out of having to be there to push the button. If you feel like you don't have the time, maybe your schedule is compact, this can be for you. And so we can set the pending order by saying, hey, I believe price can touch this exchange rate, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, and I don't know why this keeps coming up. Maybe it's my horizontal line set up. I don't know. But I'm going to, normally you could just hit this, the add well, it's saying add horizontal line. So something on TradingView has changed. Maybe because we're back testing, or I'm back in time. But I want to hit this plus sign. I'm going to hit the sell sign for this one, and I can do limit order. Now, limit order is what most people call a retest. Okay. So what we're saying is we want price to come in retest, and my exchange rate was at price point 1.25211. Okay. So I can come down here and click on the take profit, click on the stop loss, and I can put my information in. I can risk 1%. Maybe you risk 2% or 3% at most. You could put what the price will be for your stop loss. I'll just say back up to the previous high. You can put what your take profit is going to be, and then you could see how much it is that you could potentially make in this trade. Let's say I risk 1% of this demo account. I can risk 105 to gain $244, right? And let's see what happens. So let's say I hit the sell button. You're not triggered into the trade. You're triggered into the executed order. So basically saying, hey, we won't put you into this trade unless price touches your zone. So let's just say that we hit sell and the pending order is ready, right? And so the very next day, you guys can see, and this is tough because we're going to talk about pros and cons to both orders. One of the cons to pending orders is you don't know how high or low price can go. And you don't even know if price is going to touch the zone, right? Or where you want to enter the trade. You have no idea. You only have faith that price won't hit your stop loss, that it will go to your take profit. That's one of the things. So you can't control what price does here. So let's say you're already triggered into this position. It's running for you, but now you're in drawdown. You don't need to fear it, because everyone can go into drawdown. Even if you entered it early on a 4 hour and you entered a trade here, you will be in drawdown. Doesn't matter. Okay. Everyone suffers that. You just have to, chill through it, right? So the next candlestick is a hammer. You will be back into profit. Okay. Now, if you entered the trade market order, well, here's a con. The pro is you entered at 1.25211. If you've entered here, you've entered in at a lower price, so your stop loss is bigger. Here, your stop loss is smaller if you're triggered into the position. So we call this fighting for the best price. Like we fought for price for us to be in this trade at 1.25211 versus maybe getting in a little bit lesser, and now we have a higher stop loss, or price could have just left without you. And so that actually happens when you trade, and this is due to market conditions, right? This is a very narrow trend, which means price did not have much to pull back. Okay, so that can be another con, but a pro could be with the market order is that you control how you want to enter the trade versus the pending order. You don't know how you're going to be entered the trade or how it's going to play out for you. So that's one of those things there. And let's just say that you're still in the trade, you're still triggered into the position, and then voila, you hit your take profit. So one is more work than the other. More is probably one more babysitting than the other. But when it comes to your pending orders, in a nutshell, this is a quick way to trade and set a pending order versus a market or manual order. Okay. And so I pray you guys like this video. And if you guys liked it, whether you're on YouTube land, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're here on TradingView, give it a thumbs up for likes as well. If any of you have questions, comment them down below. I love teaching this way. This is my teaching style. Some of you may ask if I have a course. I do not sell courses. I sell access to my time because I teach live like this a lot, and I love doing this, okay? Because as the market moves, we want to be able to keep up with it, okay? And it's fresh information, it's fresh movements, it's fresh data. And I love teaching this way because we can watch all the videos in the world, but sometimes you got questions as price goes along and it moves. And I love to be here to answer your questions. So if y'all have a question, comment it down below. And if you decide to work with me, you can get a one-on-one with me for 30 minutes. If you want to work with me longer, if you want immediate access to me, you can join my group coaching program. Links are down below. You guys be blessed, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.